Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Littman, excited to discuss Jason Mesnick's season because I actually like this season. It was kind of fun to revisit it. And today I'm doing so with Justine and Natasha from Two Black Girls, One Rose, a Bachelor podcast. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hey, Juliet.
Hey.
How you doing?
Thank you so much for joining me. So you guys are currently recapping Jason Mesnick's season on your podcast.
We are. We have to dig into the vault and schlep something up to talk about.
It's been helpful to have something on Netflix, like just a little Bachelor. You can just go to it whenever you want to.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm really excited to dig into it. I feel like it's just perfect timing. I when I saw this align, I was like, oh great, let's just be the two experts right now. But first, let's talk about some of these Bachelor rumors. First of all, Tayshia, excited? Not excited? How are you feeling?
Oh my God, thrilled.
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 So thrilled. So many thoughts, but general sentiment is we're excited as hell. We've been waiting for this.
I think you covered this on your show last week when the news first came out. So I don't want to step on it too much. And let's just say, you guys, your podcast is through Patreon, Two Black Girls, One Rose.
Yes.
Pay for it. Subscribe. I do. Yeah. So everyone should.
Yes, join us.
But we'll talk about the rumors and such. I don't want to step too much on what you guys have already discussed on your show. Right after Matt James was announced, you guys were a little mixed on him as the Bachelor, and so just give us a taste of sort of how you feel about Tayshia as the second Black Bachelorette.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thrilled. 2020 has been a horrendous year, but one great positive is that white people now finally seem to have woken up to racism. And so as a result, we suddenly have a Black Bachelorette and a Black Bachelor on top of that to come. So I feel great personally. I know I've been a long time member of Bachelor Nation. I've been watching this show probably way longer than I should have watched. And I've been tired of watching white women's journey for love on this show and this like fairy tale world where only white women are allowed to have love stories. And so, I mean, for me, this is like a long time coming. And I feel like as Bachelor viewers, we've had to suffer through a lot these last few years with watching Lee, a full-fledged racist on Rachel Lindsay season. Garrett, Becca chooses Garrett in the end, who's recently doubled down on his racism. We've had to watch, I was just thinking last season with Peter, Victoria F. After the final rose got this whole redemption moment on the couch. Yet we don't talk at all about her All Lives Matter, nonsense that was going on at the time. And then we've had to watch Tayshia essentially get passed over twice as the Bachelorette. And so I'm ecstatic because I feel like this is where we should have been a long time ago. And I'm so beyond tired of people of color being made to be props on this show. It's taken ABC and the producers essentially a literal global anti-racism movement to now find value in Black contestants as the lead. And so, Tayshia being cast, super excited. I think it's just the first step of many more that we want to hold the producers accountable to. And I just think this is an important moment for media representation because we're seeing now how important representation is in shaping societal beliefs. And we can't continue to pretend that, The Bachelor is just this teeny bopper show. It doesn't mean anything.
It does have such a bigger reach than I could have ever imagined back when I was watching Jason's season. But Justine, what about you? What was your initial reaction?
So, Natasha touched on a lot, but I think that the one thing that I would like to highlight is the prop factor, because to us, it felt like Matt James was a prop. It felt like he was a prop of a trend that is not a trend. Black Lives Matter is a forever movement. But for The Bachelor, feels like a trend to them. Tayshia feels like a story that we know, a woman that we all know. I don't know anybody white who didn't want her to be the Bachelorette. Like everybody loved her. Like everybody. This wasn't even like a discussion of like, oh, I don't know if I want her. No, everybody wanted her. Same way everybody.
She had a great. I'm sorry to interrupt you. She had a great Colton after the final rose, or whatever the finale was. Like that was a great showing from her and from Hannah. But I also feel like that was just a messed up end of the season where like it was so glaring at the time. And I talked about this a lot, so I'm a bit of a broken record. But Hannah G, that first night, like the night one of Colton's finale, like shot up. I think she got to 1 million followers really quickly. And Tayshia, I think Tayshia had like 600,000 when she went into it, and it got up to like 750, 800. And then, she's been in the mix and doing a lot more appearances. So I think her following has grown, but like from like the whole Tayshia experience from the beginning of Colton's season, like just felt like she was getting short shrift in a really obvious way. So I'm really excited that she's doing it now. And also like, Tayshia just seems really fun. Like, I think that she seemed great at Paradise last year.
Yes.
And so I feel like this actually shortened season with being in one location will very much play to her TV strengths, at least. So.
Yeah, I think she presented, and we loved her on Paradise. I had to dig back into my memory. Totally forgot she was divorced previously.
Yeah.
So she has like a story. She's coming in with depth. Like she's legit. She's going to be a great Bachelorette.
I'm really excited about it. And I'm just curious, Natasha, what was your first season, since you said you've been watching for so long?
I remember watching the first season of The Bachelor.
Damn. Nice.
I must have been like 9 or 8 or something.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't remember all the details, but I do remember like gearing up as a kid watching it, like this new show with this dude's giving out roses.
As a result of covering the show, I feel like it's inevitable that you like have like a weird osmosis where like the show is so fucked up and warped and weird, but there's just like a few things that impact the way that you like view relationships and dating, just because you just are fucking in it. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed to say it, but it's definitely true, And I feel like as a kid, what did you think about the show? Or you're like, what's happening here? I'm so curious.
Yeah. It's weird because like even with Jason Mesnick's season, like I'd watched the season previously, and I remember loving Jason. Like he's just like he won me over with the single dad factor. That whole like storyline that they sold. But now watching it back, I'm like way more critical because I'm a 30-year-old woman who's now dated and like understands things. And so it's just interesting. Like in the beginning, as a kid, it's just like watching fairy tale romance, kind of like watching another rom-com. Yeah.
And Justine, when did you start watching?
I started watching in Rachel's season.
She's the best. Love Rachel here.
Yes.
It was a good one too. One thing, when we get into the Jason stuff, the number one thing for me that I'm just like, I don't know about this, is having his son on television. I'm just like, wait,
oh
what?
my God. Yes. And how all the girls want to kidnap him. We talk about that on our show.
What about when he like invites Melissa, when Melissa has a date at his house and Ty's sleeping and they go and like peek at him in his bed?
Look at him.
Yeah.
What? And on this poor child.
So creepy.
It was like the season is the fight for Jason's love, yes, but also like the competition to become Ty's stepmom.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I also, on the other hand, though, when Stephanie is reunited for her daughter's birthday, I found that really moving. I was happy to see that in the clip show.
Yeah. Love Stephanie.
Oh, me too. Okay, we'll come back to her in 1 second, but let's talk about these rumors. So ABC comes out, they confirm it, that we will see Claire's journey for love, and which apparently, according to Ben, lasted 12 days. And then we will see Tayshia's journey for love, which is happening right now. And then, as soon as this is announced, there's all these photos of various Bachelor Nation people appearing at the La Quinta. So we've got Ashley and Jared in the house. We've got Becca Sans Garrett. We've got Sydney Latuaco, another friend of the pod. Love Sydney.
Yeah.
Love. And we've got Hannah Ann, who I would not say is a friend of the pod. Never spoken to her. And I don't really have a problem with Hannah Ann. I just like Peter's season. I'd like to like just kind of
the whole thing
race from memory.
The whole
100%. Yep, 100%. Just like no thanks. All good here. Although I don't know if you guys follow the NBA, but it's rumored that there's some rumors that Madison is dating Michael Porter Jr., which like,
What?
yeah, that's like a Reddit rumor, which like,
All right, Madison.
Okay, Madison.
All right, go ahead, girl.
I know, work the basketball connection.
Wow. I kind of love it. I don't know. I just feel like that actually like makes sense. Whatever. Anyway, so all these people are seen at the resort in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And then there's this viral Instagram like slideshow that's like the last week of The Bachelor is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. And it basically says that there's like a panel of bachelorettes. And so it's not just Tayshia.
Yeah.
Which sounds wrong.
I think it's super
incorrect.
wrong. Like, come on. ABC just made this announcement. And I think that like they wouldn't have come out and confirmed it if that weren't the case.
They wouldn't dare do that at this point in time with all that's going on. No, they're not.
I know. Like also like cynically, it's like they got they're getting a W out of this, right? Like they're not gonna be like, okay, actually we're also adding Hannah Ann and Becca to this. But I mean like, no way. But it's just like I feel like we're in the Wild West of Bachelor rumors and spoilers where like anything goes. And anything. People just like throw it up there. And it's not like I'm like, some journalist like getting Pulitzer Prizes for covering The Bachelor, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. And I just want to say like, don't trust every viral Instagram that you see about The Bachelor.
Right.
And be a little like analytical about it. Like I looked at Hannah Ann's suitcase and I was like, that looks like a suitcase for Hannah Ann for 3 days.
Totally.
That does not look like a suitcase for Hannah Ann to be the Bachelorette.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, like she probably had if you account for like 4 to 6 pairs of shoes, because like who knows what you're gonna need.
Who knows?
All of her hair products, including like a straightener, curling iron, like all of that. Like that's like there's not a lot of room for clothes, which is fine because clothes are probably tiny, so that's no problem.
Yes.
But like I was just like, there's no way. And also like I adore Sydney. She's awesome. But like if they're doing a panel of bachelorettes, like Sydney was just on tour. Well, she was on the tour. Like and Becca just straight off of
straight out of her
Garrett a week ago.
Like 2 days ago.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the other rumor. That's the other rumor floating around is that Garrett and Becca are done. I mean, I was surprised.
Not surprised at all. I don't think she had much of a choice at this point.
See, I was surprised. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was surprised. Yeah, I didn't think she was gonna break up with him.
She would look insane.
She wouldn't though. She would, to the Bachelor Nation, most of Bachelor Nation, she would look like the rest of them.
That's true. Yeah. Also, we don't know that she broke up with him. Maybe he broke up with her. Or
he could have.
Yeah, true.
He could have. He could have been like, "You're on the wrong side of history, young lady. I gotta go get me a nice flag
and Blue Lives Matter girl.
Blue Lives Matter girl."
So just Garrett, I'm also like ready to return to Reno and be like, farewell. I hope you enjoyed being a man of the mountains out here.
Bid adieu. Bye-bye.
I just such wild, obviously not true that they would bring in Sydney and Hannah Ann and Becca Tayshia.
No, I mean, I think everyone right now is starved for Bachelor news. Even we were talking about this on our podcast, just like all publications right now are starved for just pop culture content in general. And so they're reporting on anything, any little scrap that they can get. So
it's true. I've really enjoyed the new albums from Taylor Swift and the Chicks and the Beyonce film on Disney Plus, just because they were like events, I don't even really like the Taylor Swift album that much, but I was thinking about like how excited I was to have a just like event that people got really excited about. Exactly. And then the Beyonce film came too. And that was like another one. And I was like, this is great. We're all on the same page of like paying attention to the same stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Beyonce, that was a life milestone more than an event.
You guys did an episode on that as well, didn't you?
Not an episode, just
not on it.
20-minute rant.
Saw it on my feed. So you guys are pro.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I think the Disney Plus is the best streaming service. Like just for dollar what you get from it.
Yes.
Especially with kids.
Yes.
It's really good.
One of the best like ideas, like one of the best ideas for a streaming service. I feel like when the idea came out, everybody was like, you know what? That sounds like a good $7.99.
It seriously is. It's also so much to watch, and
Mhm.
I
So
really
much content. Yeah.
I like the Disney original content. Like the Imagineering show is phenomenal.
No, and all the movies, Smart House and Luck of the Irish. I was so
Yeah, it's
excited
great.
to see those.
I love it.
Just seems like
Let's dig into Jason Mesnick season. So, right before we started recording, I revealed to you guys that I love Jason Mesnick's season, and I was like really excited to be revisiting it.
So interesting. That's so interesting. It is.
Thought, Juliet.
Because I have to watch it with the subtitles on. I'm like, oh my God.
So is it boring to you, or is it just like weird? Like, what are your problems with it?
I feel like I feel like we're not watching The Bachelor, which is interesting.
Okay, I have a theory about that, which jumped out to me. This is what jumped out to me.
Mm-hmm.
HD is an absolute game changer. So when they go back to these seasons that are pre-HD, you're just like, what is this weird memory box that they've opened up and are putting on television? It looks so visually different.
Yeah. It looks very different. Yeah.
Looks very different. And then I think with Jason's show, it's interesting to watch because it's at the center of the show is truly his journey for love.
Yeah.
Just not really the center of The Bachelor now. It's a show about drama, and sure, love is a part of it, but it was just really interesting to watch. Like, these women really do seem to care about Jason and really want to be Ty's stepmom in a way that we don't see that same like thirst for love on the current seasons. It's more of a thirst for Instagram fame, or
right.
As it should be, because you're way more likely to have an Instagram career than you are to fall in love. Especially on The Bachelor. He's most likely going to break up with you.
Yeah.
Even if you do get picked.
Right.
So,
that is true. I mean, the women did seem to really care about Jason. And I was like, as I was watching the Best Seasons Ever episode, I was like, Jason seems like, of all of the guys who've been Bachelor, like among the more normal, like, you would be you could do a lot worse. And then I was like, just checking in with some more of our more recent Bachelors. And I was like, yeah, I picked Jason. But then he lost me with the very end of having the like vow renewal over Zoom with Chris Harrison.
Oh my God.
That made me irrationally mad. I was just like, no, you don't need to do it. I don't understand like what that even was. And also like, it's funny seeing people dress up to do these Zooms with Chris Harrison, right? Like
yes.
I like to see that.
Stephanie had a whole look. She was prepped.
Whole look.
She sure did.
Loved it.
And Jason was wearing shorts, which I'm fine with. It's summer.
Short shorts. I saw his whole thigh.
Yes. And it's like,
oh my God.
It's like, Jason, you knew this was coming. So why didn't you get more dressed up for your vow renewal?
He didn't really get on his season. He would barely dress up for dates.
Yeah.
So he would show up in jeans. The girls would have all their, their full cocktail outfit. He would have jeans on a nice shirt. Like he doesn't have a track record of putting in much fashion effort, I'd say.
I would say he dresses in 2009 like Michael Jordan does in 2020.
Yes, very Michael Jordan. Lots of bootcut jeans.
Yes.
Lots of big pants. Yes.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Apron. Home cooking matters now more than ever. With Blue Apron, you can have peace of mind by getting fresh, quality ingredients delivered straight to your door so you can cook delicious, easy meals in the comfort of home. Blue Apron takes the guesswork out of dinner, and we mean more than just deciding what to eat. You can know your ingredients are being prepared and packaged with the highest attention to quality and safety. Create a plan that works for you with Blue Apron's ever-changing mix of menu options like vegetarian, carb-conscious, Mediterranean, diabetes-friendly, and WW approved. Prices start as low as $7.49 per serving, and you can schedule, skip, or cancel orders whenever you want. Don't sacrifice flavor. Don't settle for boring meals. Find comfort in the kitchen with Blue Apron and enjoy delicious home-cooked meals. Check out this menu and get $30 off across your first 2 deliveries when you visit blueapron.com/bachelor. That's blueapron.com/bachelor. Blue Apron, feed your soul. So, like, what has, in addition to the pursuit of love, like, what else has really stood out as having changed a lot since 2009?
Ooh, I mean, the biggest is definitely the women. The cast
Yeah.
of women was the biggest standout. I think
Yeah.
another huge thing that we noticed was the fantasy suite episode. It was truly just an overnight date. Like there was no, kind of like a whole thing about like, do they have sex? Don't they have sex? There was no mention of sex at all. It was just like they're spending time together, and we didn't even see them go into the room. We didn't see the morning after. It was just totally different than how we see it now with, Peter's season. It was all around the windmill and all of that.
Yeah.
So that was a huge difference, I think.
Even Hannah's season where she didn't have sex with Tyler, and it was like, I didn't have sex with Tyler. It was like, this is a lot. Like, there's 4 of them. Like, we don't need to know.
Yeah, we don't need to know.
That's fine, girl.
Yeah. I'm going to say I'm glad I did know. Though we didn't need to, I was like happy to know that they didn't.
Yeah. Right, yes.
Yeah. And like, good for you also, Hannah, that you're getting it 4 times in a week. That's great. But
like 3 times in a week. Just
3 times, yeah.
As she said, Tyler was the most respectful man she's ever encountered. Where do you guys stand on Tyler? I need to know. Sorry, a brief aside. I can't help myself.
I know you love Tyler, Juliet.
Yes,
we love Tyler.
Yeah, we love Tyler.
I love Tyler. I like how he uses his platform. He has not shied away from posting about things related to social justice, social awareness, to different topics. He uses
Before it was cool.
Before it was cool, exactly.
Yeah.
So always appreciated him, and I mean, even before that, he's just fine.
So hot. Yeah. It's outrageous.
So
outrageously good looking. Yes.
Yeah.
There's many negatives of COVID, but obviously, but one of them is that like I just feel like in the summer of 2019, for like a good 6 months, from like May of 2019 through the end of the year, like every day there was someone just being like posting on Instagram, like, look, I met Tyler today. And like he just would happily pose with everyone as he was just like running around the city of New York. I miss the era of Tyler and Matt in New York, It was a great time. Thanks for bearing with me. I can't help myself. I'm so happy when other people bring up Tyler, so I don't have to. So I appreciate it. Thank you both so much. You Natasha, you mentioned the women have changed a lot, and I have a lot of thoughts about these women. What did you mean by that, though?
The thirst for Ty. Like that was really I couldn't help but just think of Jason Mesnick's ex-wife, I guess, or Ty's mother, rewatching the show to see how excited and like almost weirdly obsessive these girls were about like becoming his new stepmom and fitting into his life. And it was mentioned from limo dates through every single date, just like how excited they were, not even just for Jason, but to like become a stepmother. And I just found that interesting because even Molly's 24, which is like fairly young.
Super young. When I was 24,
when I
was 24, I could not have been a parent of any kind. Like step parents. I could barely be a babysitter at 24.
Right. And not even to imagine like just stepping into that role, but like actively seeking that role.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting. Not to mention their fashion choices and hair and all that stuff.
They're everything.
Okay. I want to talk about that. They upon rewatching, I had such trauma flashbacks to like all the sorority events that I went to in college where everyone was wearing like something like all of their dresses were like the extension of like the going out top. Do you remember the going out top phase?
Yes, the going out top. Yes.
We are calling it the Real Housewives of Orange County season 1.
Yes.
Vicky top.
Yes. Oh my God. 2006 Real Housewives of Orange County is an absolute landmark of television. I'm not joking.
Iconic.
It's an it's a turning point.
It
in
is
society.
that good. Yep. Yes. Agreed. Yeah.
I had never been to California when that show started, and I was like, "Is this what it's like?"
Yes.
And
same.
I was like, Coda de and then I heard of someone in college who was from Coda de Cazo, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding? Like what?" Like I was just like, I need to meet this stranger at my school, but I just was like the way they did like what do you even call that hairstyle where you take like the front piece of your hair, the poof,
the middle poof,
like what is that? Like I didn't have a name because it was so commonplace at the time. Like it was more common than the Rachel was in the 90s. And
Right.
and yet I just was like, I forgot about this hairstyle. And it also really reminded me of Lauren Conrad like a lot.
Oh, she was it. She was the fashion icon of that time of like 05 to like 2010, I guess.
Yeah.
She was like all we had. And then vlogs started and everybody was like, oh, I can buy my own clothes for my own style, my own body shape. Oh, I didn't know. I thought I had to be Lauren Conrad.
Yeah.
It's really true, but their clothes give me such like terrible flashbacks to the choices I made from like the years 06 to 2010 of like thinking a certain shirt was a good idea and like all of those like jersey fabrics that actually look really bad, but everyone wore. And it's crazy how pervasive it was. And I think the women now, like they are obviously much smarter and they like get stylists and they like reach out to stores for product placement and whatnot. But these women had none of that.
No idea. The one that kept getting to me was the summer scarf.
Oh yeah.
A hot ass scarf that we were all wearing in the dead of July because Lauren Conrad wore it. And then you saw it every episode on Jason Mesnick season. Like,
their clothes were crazy. And also they're like kind of like casual clothes, like how Melissa would wear like Dallas Cowboys apparel that she had like clearly gotten from her job, which like I think is cool, kind of like I would like to have Dallas Cowboy shorts, like, but it just like it was so it's so pre-athleisure. It's like they had no idea what was coming.
None.
And it's so pre-Instagram. Like no girl would ever wear a label that they're not getting paid for now.
That's a great point.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really true. And no leggings, like not a single pair of leggings.
No.
That's a better time. Like I leggings are really comfortable, but I don't think they belong on TV to the extent to which we see them.
No, they're fully long underwear. Like definitely not. No.
Yes, 100%. I find that the hair even more than the clothes though, just to be absolutely scarring of what people thought was a good idea, the damage they were doing to their hair, the amount of straighteners they must have used. And
a lot of pin straight hair, not a lot of wand curls, just like you could tell they're just frying their hair so straight.
Yeah. Although I guess people will look back on this recent era, like almost from like probably like Nick Viall forward, because Ben Hagen's season had a lot of top knots and a lot of half top knots as well. But then Lauren Bushnell did it all the time, Lauren Lane. But I think since then, the kind of like fake natural waves that the women do to like, it's like pageant hair almost. That's the style now. And
it's the mainstay.
It's kind of funny how, I mean, I guess it's so obvious, like when you're in the trend, you don't see it, but like how there's just distinct phases of what's like the kind of normative, skinny white woman style, essentially.
Right. Yeah. It stands right out. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, excited to see what 2020, what we're doing now. Like you can't see it when you're in it, but 4 years now, we'll look back, like what the hell were we doing? Yeah.
I know. And like, and how will COVID affect it? You know?
That too. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't put on makeup in months. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like, no, sorry. I mean, it's like all dried out. I do think that will be part of it, like less makeup, unless you're an Instagram influencer.
I'm always in a full face, so I can't relate.
Can't relate. I have on mascara. That's my bare minimum. But yeah.
I mean, I've always been very lazy, but it's interesting to see how it will continue to evolve. But that like really stood out to me. But then the other thing related to the women is like, I think there were like 5 great Bachelorette choices in this season. I think Jillian is dope and I'm happy they picked her. Have you guys ever watched Love It or List It too?
No, I have not. She's the host of that?
She's the host.
I know she's in like home design or home decor type
That's
stuff.
correct. It's based in Vancouver, though they never say. And it's like one of these like generic like shot in Canada, but like try to make it seem like the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's Vancouver. She's really charming on it. She wears like really cute outfits and she does like a great job designing these homes. And she's like a good host. Like Jillian, I watched her season of The Bachelorette, but like I know her more as this HGTV host than anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very upset by her eyebrows, like on this.
Everyone's eyebrows were terrible, and even on her little Zoom call, I was like, "Damn, they never came back, girl."
It's a strong brow.
Really weird. The skinny eyebrow phase, also happy to leave that behind in the many decades ago.
Yes.
But I think between Jillian, Stephanie,
yes,
yeah,
Molly and Melissa would have been great bachelorettes. Even like Shannon, like I heard some of these like,
oh my god,
she could have been a Hannah Brown before Hannah Brown.
Yes.
I think that Jason got like actually a good group of women to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jillian and Stephanie were my two leads for Bachelor for sure. I would have loved to watch Stephanie find love on The Bachelor or just in life. I wish Instagram existed back then. I'd track her stories every day. But Jillian, I think, was like the obvious choice because she was kind of like outspoken. She had like a spunky little personality.
Yeah. She was sexy
more
too.
So, yeah, more so for me than like Molly and Melissa. I think she had more of the potential to like carry a season and be interesting and funny.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Jason is they're all like, he's such a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
However, Jason waited to blindside his fiance with a breakup on television. It wasn't even in front of an audience, which I actually think makes it worse. Like just being like the crew and 3 people on stage and like that's it, and it's just like not even like a big to do.
No.
Like, can you imagine knowing you were gonna do that and not giving your fiance the heads up? Like,
but calling the producers of the show that you were on to get her mic'd up and hooked up, and then propose to the other girl who's backstage across the hall.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't imagine doing that. And it's wild that Jason's actually not more hated. Like they do say he became the most hated man in America, but I don't think that's true. I think Brad was way more hated when he didn't pick anyone.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think people like were happy with Jason.
Yeah, because people loved Molly, and so they're like, "Oh, I can see what you could. You can kind of see like the real way between the two of them." So like, hated Jason for how he did it, and you felt bad for Melissa. Nobody deserves that, but also, I mean, he can only be hated but so long when you see that he's actually like genuinely in love with Molly, and they're still
also we talk about it in the show after Melissa like launched into this whole media career. She went and won Dancing with the Stars, and then she started working on Good Morning America, and then she got a whole new man, which we found out yesterday was her old man.
Yeah,
like that had the son's name. His name is Ty.
Like, so bizarre.
It was great. So Melissa became like this iconic woman of like comeback woman to me because I didn't watch The Bachelor at that time.
But you knew her though.
I knew her. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Justine, how have you been enjoying going back to it? Like if you never saw it, like this is your first time around with Jason, like how is that experience? Like, I guess, versus, going back to when you've seen.
Yeah, I'm really used to a certain like caliber of reality TV.
What is that caliber?
It was like in 2009, I guess. I was watching like I Love New York.
Yeah.
Like I was watching like the good stuff, like the good, crazy seasons. I was really addicted to Housewives, very much on the soap opera spectrum of reality TV. Not so much this like, I'm searching for real love. Who will I find?
Right.
So I know in 2009, I never would have watched this. Like I would have been done.
Too boring.
Yeah, it's just too boring. Yeah.
Drama.
I at the beginning of quarantine, like back in March and April, I went back and watched early Real Housewives of New York. Have you guys done that?
Oh my god,
I have not. I would love to do that.
It's so
excellent.
Good though.
It's really good. I've been a Housewives watcher since day one. Like I watched. I was very into like all the kind of like California shows of the mid-aughts, like scripted and non-scripted. And I loved all of them. And so I got into this franchise, and then I loved the Real Housewives of New York. I loved Bethany and Jill's friendship right away. If you go back and you watch it though, it's again like a crazy time capsule, like Kelly Ben-Simone bonkers.
Oh my God, running in the street.
Yes.
An icon.
I had forgotten about that and I watched it. It's on Hulu. I really recommend it. One of my favorite things of quarantine has been watching like old reality shows from, the kind of like 10 years into the genre. So like right around 07, 08, 09. It's really fun because
like fun activity.
I find it like very comforting. You know what's gonna happen. It's also like it no longer feels like reality TV because it's so dated. Because just like life moves quickly. And I definitely recommend it. So basically, Justine, what you're saying is that this show is basically too boring and too chaste and not enough good characters.
They're just like, there was no character development. There was no drama. I'm like, what? Like, what is like enticing about this show that you had to watch every week? And then, of course, being a Black woman, I don't relate to not one of these not a single person on this show. And so I was like, I don't think I would have done this. But I love Melissa.
Yeah, I like Melissa too. Yeah. I was going to say she kind of set the blueprint, right? Like you go on another show and then you become a media star.
She started it. She started the if you lose, you can still win.
100%. Exactly. And I have to say, like, also smart by ABC at the time. Like that's how they grew this franchise, was by capitalizing on this cultural moment. Like, I do think that people who didn't really watch the show knew about Jason changing his mind and doing it on TV.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is the season that started that shift from it being a focus on love to now it's like, okay, this is a show, there's drama, there's real money and like real like cultural influence that we can have here.
100%. And I think it's like a really interesting comparison with Brad's first season because that did become like a sensation. Like I remember I wasn't like so into the show when that happened because I think I was in college. I was like, we would watch, but like not that much. And people kind of like knew about it but moved on. But I think that as I was rewatching the Molly's like reaction to Jason to be like, let's get a coffee or a drink and see where this goes. It's like so much like a rom-com. Like she delivered the rom-com ending, you know, where it was very much like, we'll give it a shot. And then we rode off into the sunset. And when she was like, I think we still have a lot of things to talk about, but it kind of had that pause and then was like, of course, the feelings never went away. I was like, this is like ABC and The Bachelor got dumb lucky with this in a weird way because they stumbled onto like the kind of thing that me, a sucker for rom-coms, is like, yes, this is exactly how it should be ending. Like, how great. Like, I don't care that he broke his engagement or whatever. And that was a real shift for the show, I guess. And then and then they figured out how to capitalize on it.
Exactly. And I think I don't know, because people now go on with other intentions. So I think contributing to like creating a storyline or contributing to a storyline, it's more like you can be part of that manufacturing. You can create that versus with Molly and Melissa, that just kind of like happened and they lucked out. So
I know it's pretty nuts. I think they tried to do that with Peter's season and it backfired. They tried to create something.
Yeah, and he was so indecisive, and he was clearly already probably dealing with Kelly as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work out.
Yeah, the Kelly and Peter stuff, they like obviously love the attention they got on Instagram.
Yes.
It's kind of nuts, but I'm like, okay, I'm happy you guys found each other, I guess. I like it when people who I'm just like, ooh, come out, find each other, and then are out of the dating pool. Like I felt this way very much with Ari and Lauren Burnham. Just like I don't really care for either of you as TV characters, and also like fear for those who would potentially date you. So date each other, and move forward.
That's true. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So like it's a win for everyone. They're happy with each other. True. We've got a nice life, and they're out of the mix. It's good.
Yes. We're just now forced to watch their entire love journey unfold now on Instagram. So
So how much do you guys like participate in Bachelor Nation? Like do you follow a ton of accounts on Instagram? Are you on Reddit? Are you on Reality Steve? Like outside of the work that you do for your pod, like how much do you actually enjoy it? And like what is your level of participation?
I think, well, for me personally, Instagram, follow a lot of the contestants and just kind of see their lives. Follow some other like funny accounts or meme accounts, things like that. I steer away. I think Justine and I both steer away from Reality Steve. We're trying to read too many spoilers just for the sake of our recaps. And then Reddit is a world that I just haven't figured out yet.
I don't even know how it works. Like, it's just too much. It's very overwhelming in there.
Yeah. I go through waves of checking it right now since it's like COVID, and I'm just like, okay, why not? But it is like a kind of crazy world, and I think Reddit was peak Bachelor Reddit during Hannah's season because there were so many rumors and so many people obsessed with Tyler like me, and also Hannah was like a very entertaining Bachelorette, like her or not. She was like just provided a lot of drama. It was very peak then. What about you, Justine?
There will be times where I'll just go and check on like random people. Like I'll go and check on Sydney from Colton season.
Love
just
Sydney.
Like real quick, just like check up, see what Sydney's doing. Oh, she's making money on Instagram. Sounds good. Or even like Jacqueline from Ari season. Check up on her real quick. Just like check up on some of the random characters that we fell in love with for 3 months and then had to be introduced to a whole new crop of 30 new people. But since there are so many people that I become a little bit obsessive with, same with how I'm like obsessed with Melissa and like how you're obsessed with Tyler. That's how I get with my reality TV show people too. And drag queens, especially with like RuPaul's Drag Race. I get real obsessed with certain and so I just check up on random people.
I like a good check-in too. Like I'll go deep for like 15 minutes. Like, what have you been doing for the last 3 months? Let me catch up with you. I'm very similar. It's a very hard bar for me to follow a Bachelor person, but then I do check in on them pretty often. And then I had TikTok on my phone for about a month, and I was like, "Oh, there's a lot happening here."
A month.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm done. I'm done here." But I'm too old. I didn't like it because you couldn't do it passively. It was so noisy. It is so noisy that like if I was on a call for work, I couldn't also be looking at TikTok. So that ruled it out for me.
That was it.
Oh my God.
And I'm a multitasker, particularly when it comes to Instagram. So I needed to be quiet. Yeah. Once you guys wrap Jason's season, do you have another show that you're going to watch until The Bachelorette, which I think will be airing mid to late September?
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's great for us because we don't.
We're thinking, probably just gonna do some interviews and kind of like talk about. There's so much news and like rumors and stuff going around, so probably just do some deep dives into those and hopefully take that through to this upcoming season. Yep.
I know it's like Clare / Tayshia. I'm pretty excited. I like a good format mix up. That's what I'm actually like. And that's one of the things I'm like really excited about is to see how what the creative is and like how they actually handle it. And I thought Listen to Your Heart really benefited from the kind of like Paradise vibes that it had. I think it got way worse. Did you guys watch?
Did not watch Listen to Your Heart. Drew the line there. Couldn't do it.
The Jen show? Like, I can't.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Though there is a happy couple from it. I liked the initial first few weeks when they were at like a resort type place in California. Like that format is more fun, I think, than the current, like the kind of default format. So this also could just be like a change in the show. Like if this works out and people like it could change how they do the show going forward. Yeah. So I'm excited about it.
The show could use some freshening up. Justine and I were just talking like for this season, are we still going to have limo entrances? Or are they going to have like
I don't know. Yeah, I know. They definitely did them for Claire, and then do they run it back with Tayshia? Like, at what point does Tayshia start? Do we get like her whole intro package?
Yes,
I really hope so. I'm excited.
So. Yep.
Also, Tayshia's family seemed great when she was on Colton season.
Amazing.
So I look forward to seeing them. That will be great.
Same.
Yes, she has a dad who does not play around.
Yeah.
I love a stern dad who comes with questions and. He's more inclined to not be on board. That is the father.
Totally.
That's the best kind.
That's the best kind of dad on the hometown.
Bring your skeptical dad. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
Justine and Natasha, thank you so much for joining me. It was really lovely to chat with you. Yeah, of course. Please check out their podcast, 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose. Subscribe on Patreon. We are actually now going to hear from Van and Rachel from Higher Learning, another show on the Ringer Podcast Network, their reaction to the Tayshia news and having a second Black Bachelorette. Let's get to it.
Rachel, you're now not an anomaly. You're now officially a trailblazer. You have blazed a trail. What you guys have to understand is Rach broke down a door and now another melanated mama has walked through it. Tayshia Adams is the second Black Bachelorette. Rach, you did it. Give it up for Tayshia Adams.
I would just like to thank all those who helped me get to this spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time coming, but we finally made it, guys. Two people in the 40 seasons that it's been. 40. I would also like to say that her name is Tayshia, but I'm going to let Van call her what he feels.
Taisha's blacker to me, and so she's going to be Tayshia. And I looked her up. I went on her gram, by the way.
And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, she's I'd say so. I mean, like she's being respectful. I don't know much about her. She's a nice looking lady. That's all I would say. Okay, couple of questions here because this just kind of happened.
Okay.
Because I'm a gigantic Bachelor fan now.
I love it.
You know
and the Bachelor fans love you, Van.
Well, I'm one of them.
They're gonna love this. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm part of Batch Nation. Was that what it's called?
That is what it's called.
I'm a Batchy.
Okay, nobody says that, but you can start this.
That's brand new. Guys, we're rebranding. We're Batchies. We're some... Oh, no. We're not Batchies. You know what we are? We're Batches. We're a bunch of Batches.
So wait, can I just tell you for my Bachelor podcast, we tried that name and they were like, that's very offensive. It's like bitches.
That's the fucking point.
Exactly. But there is a Betches. There's a Betches side. But in Higher Learning Circle, we're Batches. That's what we'll call. We'll call our Batches. We're Batches.
So I just got this news that she became the second Black Bachelorette, and I was wondering, when you heard that, what was the first thing that went through your head?
So I am not going to confirm this is true. I'm going to speak in the context of the Entertainment Tonight article that came out that is saying their sources are saying it's Tayshia. So I'm going to speak, just give you that disclaimer. I'm going to speak in that context. I'm thrilled. One,
like it.
I feel like the weight isn't on my shoulders anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm happy to pass the torch. I'm happy. I've met Tayshia. She's quite lovely. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for her. She's had a couple of go-arounds at this before. And now she's in control.
What does that mean?
Well, she was on The Bachelor, and then she was in Bachelor in Paradise. Now she's in charge. She's in the driver's seat. She's the lead. I love this power move for her. I'm excited. I don't care that it's a COVID season. I don't care they're not traveling. I don't care that she could possibly have the Clare. Clare was the Bachelorette before her, the girl who apparently dipped out. I don't care if she has her men. I am happy to see diversity. And I am happy that it's Tayshia because she's really. Oh wait, what is that face for? What's the face for?
Okay, well we're gonna discuss this because is there a possibility that the last sentence that you just said was a tiny bit shady?
No, because that's what people are going to say. I've already seen the negative talk.
Right, it's kind of like. But you just, it's kind of like you said, I don't care that it's a COVID season. There wasn't a little bit of shade. There's not a tiny bit of shade.
No, you're making it shady. What I'm trying to do is I have seen people talk and they're saying, oh, it's not fair. It's a COVID season. Oh, she's going to get the men from the past Bachelorette. That doesn't matter. The fact is they could have chosen other women. There are plenty of other white women to choose from and they chose Tayshia. That's my point. Forget all of that. This is who is representing the Bachelorette. I am excited for her. I am happy to see the diversity because that means for the first time ever, we're getting back-to-back Black. Tayshia and then Matt James. Bachelor Nation is not gonna know what to do with this. This is beautiful. I'm so happy for this moment. I hope I get to be a part of Tayshia's season.
Yo,
If it's true.
Batch is beautiful.
Man.
Batch is beautiful.
Make the t-shirts.
That's what I'm talking about. Batch is beautiful. With the Bachelor thing, does the Bachelor have a logo?
No, but roses are. But you could turn that rose into that fist.
No, you take the rose into the fist, or you put the rose growing up out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you got the red, black, and green of Africa, but then out of the red, there's a rose. You know what I'm saying? Batch is beautiful. So, like, is there any part of you that, and just, I'm asking because, look, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you guys about something that happens. And then I'm going to share with you for a second.
Okay.
I might have talked about this before. So you're on TMZ. For me, I was on TMZ for a long time. I was the only black male that was on the show for a long time. And sometimes when you're the only brother there, that in and of itself becomes your power.
Yeah.
And becomes what you're known for, right? Nobody else has the perspective that you have. Nobody else has the experiences that you have. So that in and of itself becomes your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And being in a room full of all the rest of the white people, you feel like that's kind of what you are. You don't even, and there's a lot of things that I know about, a lot of things I'm knowledgeable about, and that was kind of able to make me at TMZ more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But there is sometimes, and this happens, and we're trying to get it to the point to where this happens less, but it's a thing to where somebody else black will walk in the room and you have to stop yourself from going, yo, do I need to compete with that person? Is this person going to take away? By the end of it at TMZ, really, it never really took hold, but I was so proud and happy that there was more diversity on the show than when I left and when I came.
Yeah.
But naturally, there was like a little bit of, oh shit, what if they get somebody better looking, suaver? Could someone possibly be blacker than me? You know, the whole deal. With you, do you feel in any way that a little bit of your uniqueness has been taken away? Or was there any part of you that felt in any of those ways when this happened?
So there's a term for this, what you are describing.
What?
It is called the crab mentality. Okay.
Wow. That's okay.
But but there is a term for that. And I'm
Crabs in a bucket.
so glad that you brought this up because I in no way feel this in regards to the Bachelorette. First of all, I've always wanted to be known as more than a Bachelorette. I had a whole law career before I came in, and it's been challenging to combat that. People see me and they're like, oh, that's the Black Bachelorette, but I'm so much more than that. I am so happy that I can pass the torch and there's somebody else stepping in. I feel like I've done all I can do in this franchise. I've been vocal. I fought for inclusion. I fought for diversity. And this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to make a way so other people of color feel included. And Tayshia is half Black and half Hispanic. So we checking off 2 boxes here. This is
it's
great.
Only 1 box, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But she does have that. I'm not going to deny that part of her culture
that's
as
fine.
well. But I get what you're saying. Anyways, no, I couldn't be more happy about this. I don't feel any kind of way. I've done all I can in this Bachelor franchise. And the only thing left for me to do at this point is pass the torch.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, that mentality happens sometimes when you get to a place and you're not secure in who you are there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you start playing that role that you want them to play. But when you start to realize how much better it is overall and how much effect you can have on brands and shows and the culture in numbers and what it means, there are kids that are working there now that might have not been able to get their shine on there had I not come through there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, me personally at TMZ, if it wasn't for the amazing Nina Parker at Miss Gossip Girl, who actually was the first person to like make me feel like I was included there, it would have been the same thing. So,
she told me to tell you what's up, by the way, too.
Who, Nina?
I did an interview with her not too long ago. She was like, oh, Van, that's my people.
That's my girl, man. Nina is the way, like I come to TMZ, right? And it's a room full of people that have been working together for a long time. And, really, more than just the competition, everybody's fighting for screen time. And here comes this loud black dude, and I'm from the very first show, I'm like, yeah, doing my whole thing, right?
Just checking all the stereotypes off.
Yo, just boom, 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 bang, 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 bang. Hey, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. The entire thing. And it was hard. I ended up making great friends and becoming friends with almost all of my coworkers. Still some of my best friends. But early on, it's hard to get into the club. And I remember I'm in there one time, and I'm with the rest of the tour guides because we had our own little thing because we were the only people that would talk to one another. And Nina comes in, and Nina goes, hey, just to let you guys know, if you guys want, we're going to the den tonight to like hang out. And I remember looking and going, yo, you talking to me? And she was like, yeah, if you guys want to come with us later on tonight after work, we're going to the den over in Hollywood and hang out. We go over there to the den and we hang out. And me and Nina start talking. I'm like, yo, she's a big deal. She's on the television show and everybody. And that kind of broke the whole thing down. And like, even something like that from another person of color, from something. And then she started giving me the inside tea, person of color, black person, giving me the inside tea of what's going on at TMZ and how I need to, comport myself there and all of that stuff like that. It's just, it means something. And it means something to have had somebody there before you. So you were probably that for Tayshia.
And listen, I love that you keep calling her that. And this is the thing. If you do it right, you do it well, you don't have to worry about all that. All right. Like I did exactly what I needed to do. I made a name for myself and I'm good. I'll always be remembered in a certain regard. It's time for somebody else to step up. And I am beyond, if this is true, I am beyond happy for Tayshia.
Yeah. So I guess interesting. So she's half black, half what now?
Hispanic.
But her name is Tayshia.
Tayshia. Yes.
Interesting. I always wonder about that.
We've seen her family on the show before. Because she made it far enough on The Bachelor to where she got a hometown. So we've gotten a little insight into her family. Her father's black, her mom's Hispanic.
I always wonder if I would have got with like a Hispanic lady if my son would have been, like Jamil or Jorge. Like, how's that decision made? You know what I'm saying? Like, because her name is Tayshia. That's a very black name. But then, is there a mom that's Hispanic?
Wait, yeah, it's her mom.
So then did her mom not want her to have maybe more of a Hispanic? I always wonder about that. Because I have brothers and then the kids are just like, they're half Venezuelan, but then it's like Johnny. And I would look at the kid, I'd be like, yo, you could have been like a Ronaldo or something. You could have like a dope. You could have
so
like
you're making me think about my child's name.
Well, yeah, see, something like that.
But
By the
way, the last name is Spanish, it's Abasolo. So
yeah, but that's even more reason to give him, like, first of all, I think I personally want to go for, I like those African names. Like, I have a little nephew and his name is Sinke. And it's Sinke
that's pretty.
From both Amistad, but then also it's Sinke because he's the fifth. I'm like, yo, that's dope. That's amazing. But I'm not talking about like Johnny or Mike or Brian. If your last name is like, what is it?
Brian's my husband's name.
I know, but I'm saying, what's his last name?
Abasolo.
You got to go with like Ephraim or something like that. Like, think about that name. Ephraim Abasolo. That's a fucking pimp.
It is pretty powerful.
That Ephraim, that's,
there needs to be no picture comes with that bio. You know exactly what you're getting.
You know exactly. Like, he goes into like he's in Cancun at Senior Frogs. It's
the whitest establishment in Cancun.
Whatever. But it don't matter though, because he's on spring break. If such a thing still exists when he gets to college. And it's, yo, what's your name? I'm Ephraim. That's dope. Whatever. So I've completely gone off topic. But you're happy. You're happy with the news.
I am so happy for her.
Well, look, I'm happy too. It progress is great. I don't understand how it got started with somebody else's season and now it's kind of her stuff. I don't know how that works, but
apparently the girl has fallen in love with another guy. May I add? And let me add, because I know you don't know this. The rumors are that she's fallen in love with somebody else, and she's like, I just want to be with him. He's black.
Oh my God, we're taking over. Jesus Christ, we're taking over. Well, like he's black. She's falling in love with somebody like off the show.
No. Apparently she's on the show. This is all the rumors. Apparently she's fallen in love with a guy. The guy that they named, he is black. He was one of the men that came to be on her season.
And they just hit it off that quick?
That's what she says.
Oh, I know what
That's
happened
what the
there.
rumors are.
I know
Fantasy
what
suite.
happened there.
I love it because you just found out about a fantasy suite.
Yeah, they went to the fantasy suite early. And that Alabama black snake. Oh my God. Wow, we shouldn't have taken that shot before the podcast.
Are you hot? I'm hot.
You're hot? You're hot because you drank too much. Yeah, you're drunk. You're drunk Rach.
I'm not drunk off
Rach
one
pop.
shot.
You drunk off the Hennessy like pop.